Good evening, and welcome to week 2 of Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction. I'm Diana Liz, your session facilitator. Congratulations on being here today to take time for self-care and for committing to look at the stressors in your life through a different lens. I applaud your courage and willingness to become an agent for your growth, healing, and happiness. Listen with the ears of your heart as I read the mindfulness tools. Curiosity, kindness, including self-compassion, gratitude, and generosity. Acceptance, someone is not muted. Non-judgment, non-striving, meaning to being fully present without an agenda to relax, to feel better, to change or fix anything. Letting go and letting be. Patience, humor, trust, beginner's mind, to see situations, persons, and even ourselves with fresh new eyes. Tonight we will begin by practicing box breathing, also known as square breathing. If you have a history of anxiety or PTSD, or if you want to comfort yourself, you may want to wrap one arm across your rib cage and the other arm around the area below your rib cage. If at any time during this course the sensations become too intense, feel free to comfort yourself by wrapping your arms around you. We'll be building a refuge, and you can also learn to use the refuge during moments when sensations become too intense. And if you need to, you can pause and open your eyes. When you're ready, turn your focus inward, becoming aware of the sensations of your body. Follow the breath as it enters and exits the body. Do your best to witness whatever arises without the need to manipulate. Notice that there's a pause as the breath turns around. We're going to inhale for 4 seconds, hold our breath for 4 seconds, and exhale through the nose for 4 seconds, and then hold the emptiness for 4 seconds. If you feel uncomfortable exhaling through your nose, try puckering your lips and pretend to blow through a straw. When you're ready, we're going to practice box breathing for 3 minutes. If you choose, You may lower your gaze or close your eyes. I will start the timer now. A refuge is anything that protects, nurtures, or uplifts you. Life can be hard, and everyone has difficult, uncomfortable experience. We all need refuges. As I read a list of examples, you may want to lower your focus and soften your gaze, or you may want to close your eyes and tip your chin slightly forward to focus on your heart. Open the ears of your heart as I read some examples. A refuge can be a place with a beloved pet, a mentor, or a special friend. A place can be a refuge, such as a coffee shop, a cathedral, a park. Certain things can feel like a refuge, like a favorite sweater, a weighted blanket. Certain activities can serve as a refuge, like walking the dog, playing the guitar, dancing to your favorite song. Some refuges are intangible, memories such as being outdoors in a certain place, the feeling in your grandmother's kitchen. Ideas can be a refuge. A quote from a sacred text, a scientific discovery, or the wisdom of a saying. Pick something that is special to you. Open to feelings and sensations related to this refuge. Get a sense of having a refuge and stay with this experience and let it in. Try naming the refuge to yourself, such as I take refuge in. See how this feels and allow the sense of refuge to grow inside you. Is this refuge enough for you? Or would you like to name some other refuges? Explore relating to your refuge not as something over there that's separate from you, but rather as something already present within you. You can say to yourselves things like, may I come from, I am abiding as, may I be lifted by, I am one with. Regarded in this way, a refuge can feel like a beneficial current carrying you along. Try taking refuge in the current of gratitude, the current of love. You can create your refuge in any way that is pleasing to you. Let it fill you. I will now pause for 3 minutes to allow you to explore your refuge, to internalize the currents and let it lift and carry you. I will signal time by ringing the Tibetan bowl. This next segment guides you through a sitting meditation with breath as the primary object of awareness. Let us begin by sitting in a dignified posture with your head balanced on your shoulders, with the arms and hands resting comfortably. This is a time to switch from our normal mode of doing and moving and reacting to one of simply being. Just be attentive to what's happening within your awareness, right here and right now. As you sit, just noticing sensations of breath, just noticing how your abdomen moves on each in-breath and out-breath, and the movement of air through your nostrils, a slight movement in the chest, abdomen, and shoulders. Just bring your awareness to your breath cycle, and wherever it is the most vivid, whether it be your tummy, your chest, your shoulders, or the movement of air as it passes your nostrils. Noticing the entirety of the breath from the moment the air comes in, filling the lungs and extending the abdomen slightly, the movement of the air going out, and being aware of the pause, the stopping point in between the in-breath and the out-breath, and the out-breath and the next in-breath. It's all one movement, even though the changing of direction. Just notice that this pause is seeing to what degree you can be aware of the entire cycle. Recognizing that each part of the cycle is different from any other part. And each breath is absolutely unique in its own way if you pay attention. You may notice your attention from time to time shifting away from the breath. The mind may wander into fantasies, memories, thoughts of the day, worries that you might have, and things that you need to do. And without giving yourself a hard time, when you notice that the mind has wandered, gently but firmly bring it back to the sensations of breathing. And notice the tendency to want to control your breath. Let the quality of attention be light and easy, one of simply observing and noticing, just as if you were floating on a gently undulating sea, where you're up with one wave and down with the next, but you don't control the wave or the depth between the waves. You're just riding the waves. And when the mind wanders, gently coming back to the sensations of breathing. You may notice that there are sounds in addition to the sounds coming from this recording, sounds of traffic or movement or something going on. And just notice. Just notice that your attention has moved to the perception of the sound. Just staying with it long enough to notice the quality of the sound. Sound is vibration, tone, volume, intensity. Being aware of the mind to want to label sounds as traffic, as voices, or as music, or as coming closer. Quality, pitch, or rhythm, or intensity. Separating out the actual perception of sound from the labels we put on it. Let your breath be your anchor of awareness. So that each time your awareness goes somewhere, just gently coming back to the breath without judgment or any upset. and noticing the tendency to have an opinion about things, about liking the way things are going or not liking it, finding it uncomfortable. That too can be an object of awareness, just noticing that you have an opinion about things often. Ah, that's my liking mind. It's liking this. Oh, this is my critical mind. It would rather have things be different than what they are. And that too can be noticed. Building the capacity to notice liking or disliking, and not to have to do anything about it. How freeing is this? And as you notice what's happening, just bring your awareness to the physical sensations of breath, wherever it's most vivid and comfortable for you. Just riding the entire cycle, one cycle after another. You may notice your attention shifting to body sensations of achiness or discomfort, of tension. And as you notice these sensations of discomfort that happen, there are several things that can be done with the sensation. One way to deal with body sensations is shifting a little bit. But before you do that, first, become aware of the sensation, noticing precisely where the tension or the achiness might be. And once you're aware of what's happening, developing an intention to move and moving mindfully and with full intent to make the motion. That's one way to deal with strong sensations. A second way to deal with sensations, and neither one is better than the other, as long as full awareness is brought to all the parts. First, noticing the sensation, noticing it in its fullness, being curious about the extent of it, how your experience of it is at this moment. The actual physical sensations of tension or throbbing, of tightness, of pulling or tingling. And the second way of dealing with it is to just notice that it's possible to stay for a moment longer with the sensation. Experience this pure sensation without labels of discomfort or of tension or of achiness. Just noticing just where it is, noticing your experience of it, and staying with it without having to react to it, just for the moment. And if your attention keeps calling you back to the area of this intense sensation, knowing you have two choices of forming an intention to do something about it and mindfully doing it, but forming the intention first, bringing your attention and intention to the action. Being curious about it. How big is it? How long is it? What quality does it have? How is it changing over time? And wherever the mind goes in terms of thoughts of liking or disliking, perceptions of sensations, or hearing of sound, or feeling of peace, or of sadness or frustration, of anticipation, just noticing these raw thoughts of form and bringing awareness to the sensations, to the moment of the breath. Observing the breath and seeing if it's possible to have a friendly attitude toward whatever comes into your awareness. And now, if your mind has gone off on a fantasy, or a thought, or a judgment, a worry, a sensation, a sound, In a friendly way, notice that this is happening and come back to the breath. Recognizing that the entire cycle of awareness is important. It is important to this experience, including the movement away from the breath and including the coming back. And there's nothing to do but ride the waves of the breath. Seeing if it's possible in those moments when your awareness is gone somewhere else, noticing how that flicker of attention happens. That moment when you realize it's somewhere else, somewhere other than the breath. And at that moment, seeing if it's possible for you to have an attitude of celebration, of congratulations, of recognizing that this is a moment of awareness. You acknowledge yourself for noticing you have gone somewhere else, and gently but firmly bringing yourself back to the breath in a friendly, non-judgmental way. As we move towards the end of this meditation, recognizing that you have spent this time intentionally aware, moment by moment, to experience, nourish, and strengthening your ability to be with whatever comes your way. Building the capacity for opening to the senses, to the aliveness of the present moment. Expanding your skill to be curious and available about whatever presents itself without judgment. I will now pause for 3 minutes to allow you to ride the waves of your breath. I will ring the Tibetan bowl to signal time. In this heightened state of awareness, let us take a moment to recall our refuge and the safety and love we felt at that moment. And now surround your family with this love that you felt. Let us surround our community with love. Let us surround our nation with love. Let us surround all people everywhere who feel powerless, angry, and afraid. Let's shower them with our love. I will now ring the Tibetan bowl to signal the end of our session. Take your time, become aware of your support, stretch a bit if you like. Thank you for joining me. I'm Diana Liz, founder of Rejuvenating Lifestyle for mind, body, health, and happiness, wishing you a life of flourishing. Namaste.